very, very, very late. Liverpool versus Marseille, Reds wrap up, or whatever I've actually named this live stream this evening. First of all, yes, the apologies. So, one or two of you who are subscribers will know that sometimes my scheduled live streams do not go to plan at all in the slightest. And basically, ridiculous things appear in my personal life, be it work, be it family, a giant elephant falling out of a plane and hitting me, and then knocking me unconscious, and so on and so forth. Sadly, today and yesterday were two of those days, basically. So, yes, I was actually meant to be on live last night, but I actually ended up watching a bit of the match with my brother. Shout out to the bro. And being at the family house and getting back far, far too late, then going for a day's work, which was absolute bedlam. But we don't talk about that on the stream. And yeah, I was scheduled to be on about 20 minutes ago and then realised I'd not uploaded the thumbnail. And it still actually said Marseille versus Liverpool live reaction. And also, while I'm in apology mode, AEW fam, yet again, I apologise. I have not seen AEW. This was meant to be the live reaction show to AEW, would you believe it or not? And basically, long story short, it's been that chaotic in my life that I have not actually seen AEW, so I cannot review something that I cannot see. So yes, I do thoroughly apologise about that, but it has been one of those insane ones. So yeah, not expecting too many people to tune in this tonight. If you do want to, you're more than welcome to. Probably not going to be too on. Try again. Probably won't be on for too long this evening because your boy is absolutely bloody knackered, basically. By the way, 2 subscribers, that 6-7 thing that all of you keep trying to get me to say, check out the latest short. That's all I'm going to say. Liverpool's record, 13 games unbeaten. Think about how it breaks down. There you go. Anyway, now that I've done the intro, basically this will be on YouTube podcasts and YouTube video, blah, 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 the usual thing that I say. It'll probably be on like sort of midday tomorrow afternoon, as you can have it as a companion piece if you would like for the Bournemouth match that comes up. So yes, seeing that I absolutely failed yesterday to actually go on a live stream, I'm just going to talk about what happened in the match, a few bits and pieces that have happened today with the Reds. Yeah, just go from there basically and just have a chat with you guys. So yeah, 23 people. Hello. Cara Estabrook. Hi Cara, how you doing? You alright? Welcome. So I suppose the main thing, folks, is I've wrote down like a boatload of stuff basically I was going to talk about, but I suppose the main thing was that Mo Salah was named in the starting lineup last night, which I was very, very surprised about. Because obviously Egypt had their third place playoff on the Saturday night, so presumably Mo got back to Merseyside, I'm guessing Monday, which means he went training Tuesday and then he was straight back into the lineup. But yeah, he was straight back into the lineup. And to be honest, I thought he actually played all right. I thought he looked a bit rusty, obviously, but look, it's great to have Mo back. I'm hoping that maybe, look, I think it's fairly obvious that him and Arne Slot are not friends, to say the least. But I'm hoping maybe there's been a bit of a compromise along the lines of, look, you may not be here at the end of the season. I may not be here at the end of the season. You might want your move somewhere, and you might want to play for the next manager. I might want to be a manager elsewhere. I might want to pick up a couple more trophies. Let's try and do this. So maybe there's going to be a whole sort of peace plan with Arne and Mo. I mean, who knows? But I thought Mo was all right last night. To be completely honest, I thought, consider if you take into account his lack of training. Hey, bro, would you rather watch a tree grow or? Oh, ha ha ha. Yes. Yeah, folks. No, I'm not having that. Let's have a look. Yeah, folks. So before I continue that, I apologise about that message that just came up. Yeah, I get a lot of abuse for obviously my skin colour and stuff, and it's water off a duck's back, but I don't want other people to have to put up with it. So, yes, anyone who does that will be immediately removed. Let's have a look. Cooper, hi Cooper, how you doing, mate? You all right? Yeah, the second thing I wanted to talk about was I was delighted that Liverpool beat Marseille last night. I don't have anything particular um, against Marseille at all. I think the fans are very, very passionate. Obviously, they've got one or two slight Richard heads in that stadium at times, but they're just very passionate about the team. No, the person who I do not like playing for Marseille, and I'm not going to mention him in my live stream, is the thug who was allowed to escape British justice and go and ply his trade elsewhere in Europe when he should be in His Majesty's pleasure. So, on behalf of everyone, I am delighted that little mank moron was shown up to be the POS that he is. And anyway, I will get off that soapbox, but you all know who I'm talking about. I ain't mentioning his name because the bloke's fucking a disgrace. So I'm glad he got his arse whipped by the mighty Reds. There we go. Anyway, moving swiftly on from that, but would you rather, Cooper, would you rather have $1 million or be the most famous person ever before? $1 million, Cooper. I'm a Yorkshire lad. If you're giving me $1 million, mate, I will happily be like the most insignificant person in the world. But if I've got £1 million in my pocket, then I'll be right happy, lad. Yeah, that $1 million every day, my friend. $1 million. Hi Daniel, you're right. Love the top LFC. Oh, thank you, Daniel. I'll give you a bit of better luck actually. There you go. And I've got my Liverpool bottle as well that I always have for these live streams. There you go. Yeah, no, actually, I wore this specially, Daniel, for tonight because, well, it's actually meant to be like my cool cash going out top, but like I literally just bought it at Anfield the other day because I went to go and see the Barnsley match. And yeah, my missus basically said because I'm constantly one of these when you go out with the lads and stuff. Constantly, whenever I come back and I've got takeaway or a beer or something like that, guaranteed I start wiping my hands when I've had a bit too much to drink, and it ends up going all over the top. And the missus comes down and as it goes at me and says, "Why have you done that to your top for?" But yeah, I just wanted to show it off basically. I got this at Anfield. Get this for £6.50. Which I will explain in a minute. I'm a big fan. What do you think of Liverpool this season? I'm just going to get into that, dude, in a second. Manchester is red, and I hate Manchester City more than Liverpool, which I shouldn't. Ha ha ha. Yeah, fine, cool, fair enough. Yeah, I'm not that keen on Manchester either, mate, to be honest. Yeah, no, obviously, no, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. It's just a bit of banter, isn't it, really? Going back to Daniel, oh, yeah, Daniel, before I answer your question, so basically the reason I got this for £7, it was originally 40, 50 quid or something like that, like when they made it last year. They've got a load of stuff in the club shop that they're selling for like, I don't know, like half price or something like that. And I went in the other day because I'm, like I said, I'm a very cheap Yorkshireman and I like a bargain. And I was walking around and at the front of the club shop now, they've got all the stuff that they're trying to hawk out basically. And I had a look on the sale rack and this said 15 quid. And I thought, oh, Boston, I'll go and get that. But when I got to the counter, the lady serving me said, I'm not going to do a Scouse accent because I can't do accents for it. But she was like, oh, do you have a discount card? And I was like, oh, yeah, I've got a discount thing. Cool, nice one. So she puts it through and then she says, that'll be £6.50 for this for this hoodie. And she was like, is that all right? And I was like, that's fine, love. So yeah, I actually got this 40, 50 quid hoodie for about £6.50. So yeah, very pleased with that. Very, very good. To answer your question, what do you think of Liverpool this season? Well, like I said, Daniel, I'm going to go for everything that happened last night, but in general terms, I, I think I just think it's a really complicated question, mate. Well, I mean, it's not complicated. I mean, if you'll excuse my language, Liverpool basically have been shit this season. I think that's the overriding thing, basically. I think there's a lot of reasons why they have been that particular brand of excrement. I think for me, looking back on it, there was maybe a bit too much money spent on areas that didn't necessarily need spending on, whereas the areas like defence, which I mean are so blindingly obvious that we needed three central defenders, not one, three. We have not bought a central defender, as in a actual first team central defender, since Ibou Konate. Ibou Konate joined the football club in 2021. I mean, it's 2026 now. And yes, I take the Leone point and he's injured and all that. Yes, I get that and I do understand that. But Giovanni Leone is a project player. He played 30 games for Parma. I think I'm right in saying it was 26 maybe. Italian under 21 Italian international. It's like, yeah, that's great. He's been with the senior squad, I think, and this, that, and the other. And now he's broke his leg. Obviously, that's not Giovanni's fault, and I'm sure he'll be very, very good for Liverpool. But with the greatest respect to Giovanni, you can't. If the plan was to have him as the fourth centre back with Joe Gomez, who can hardly keep himself fit, to cover 34-year-old Virgil van Dijk and contract rebel Konate, and I'll speak about Konate in a minute. If that was the plan, pretty bloody stupid. Liverpool needed to buy three central defenders. It didn't necessarily have to be Mark Gay. It didn't need to be Schlotterback. But I think basically, Daniel, they needed. I'm not right. I'm not saying Tyrone Mings, right, before I say this, right, I'm not suggesting Liverpool buy Tyrone Mings at all, right? But they needed, like, someone like an Aymeric Laporte or an Otamendi who knows the league, who's not expecting to play every single week, that basically is someone who's experienced, you could just drop in, who knows the league, and if Verge gets injured, you could throw, I don't know, you could throw Aymeric Laporte, who, by the way, was available this summer, which really annoyed me, really, really annoyed me. You needed a couple of plays like that, and then maybe you've got the project player like Leone. So yeah, that's gone wrong. Like, obviously the Jota thing was I think everyone would be naive to think that the Jota thing hasn't affected Liverpool Football Club and the players. They're human beings at the end of the day. You cannot expect them not to affect them. By the way, before I continue, shout out to Ibou. Obviously, I heard today that his father passed. That's why he went back to France. And look, on behalf of all Liverpool fans, I'm sure I speak for the vast majority of people. Ibou, we love you, mate. I'm really sorry about your dad. Look, I'm someone that's lost my dad. My father died in my arms when I was 17 many years ago. It's proper shit and it's horrendous, as it is when you lose any member of your family. Take care, mate. Don't worry about your contract. It's a game of football. It doesn't matter as much as your family. Take all the time you need. If you need the rest of the season, you need the rest of the season. Liverpool will just have to cope without you. At the end of the day, it's a bloody game of football. As much as I love Liverpool and I do love the football club, this sort of thing is way more important. So just shout out Ibou. We're all here for you, mate. You'll never walk alone does mean something. So just yeah, all the best, mate. And I hope we see you soon, my friend. And yeah, that's all I can say really. So just shout out the big man. Love and respect to you, bro. But yeah, going back to the thing, obviously you've got the Jota thing that didn't help. I'd say as well the plan for Verts didn't really help because to me, Daniel, and I know this is a very, very long way of answering your question. Florian Verts for me, I'm an old man. I if I'm the manager, I go to Florian Wirtz and say, right, where do you want to play? And if Florian Wirtz tells me, I want to play behind the front two. Cool, right, you're playing behind the front two. Lad, you see that fantastic German lad over there? You make sure everything goes through that guy. Follow his lead, do whatever he wants. Now, obviously, that's not fair on the rest of the players because it's all system tactics these days, but I don't like this thing of football being coached out of the players. I mean, I made this point the other day about Jack Grealish. I know he plays for the Ev now, but I enjoy watching Jack Grealish. I think he's a fantastic football player, and I thought he was great for the Villa. Um, Pep Guardiola gets hold of him, and he turns him into basically a zombie. And that's no offence to Pep Guardiola. I know he's a very, very good football manager, and he's one of the best players in his position as well in his time. But like, you don't suppress people like Jack Grealish. You certainly do not do it with Florian Wirtz. I would have just immediately given him the keys to the kingdom personally. So I think that was a mistake. Look, I know Flo's playing all right now as well. He's playing really, really well. Same sort of thing with people with Kirkes. Like, he's playing. A slot seems to be playing Kirkes now. How he was meant to be playing, like bombing up and down the wing, and it's working now to an extent. I know we're still drawing games here and there, but because he's allowing Frimpong and Kirkes off the leash, they're creating now. And I didn't understand why. Look, because I saw them play Athletic Bilbao in pre-season, and I never understood the reason why. Because like literally, I went to go and see it. So I'm sat in the halfway in the Kenny, and literally I'm in the middle of the like right dead centre in the middle of the pitch basically, where I was watching, and Kirkes and Frimpong were nearly at the penalty area. And I thought to myself, oh, I like this. And then basically the Bilbao players were running back. And Kirkes and Frimpong were just like giving them, like, I don't know, like a 10-yard head start. And they'd be bombing past them at the end. And I thought that's just the way we were going to play. I thought, right, well, what they'll do is obviously Van Dijk and Konate, whoever, can't be having like 20 blokes running at them every game. So I thought, well, they'll drop Ryan back a little bit. And then Ryan will fill in for one of the fullbacks when they go bombing along, or maybe McAllister would drop back or whatever, and then the other two midfielders would sit. And then you'd maybe have your Wirtz coming back into midfield when he can put a tackle in here and there. I don't know. And then Wirtz was going to be spraying the balls to Isaac and Salah, which maybe was the plan. I don't know, but I don't think Slot or FSG or Richard Hughes actually thought the Wirtz thing through, and they definitely did not think Alexander Isak through. I don't know what happened with FSG. I've got no insider knowledge at all. I am just a fan. I am just guessing, but I suspect that Liverpool didn't think in a million years that they would get Isak and Wirtz in one summer. I reckon they got to the point where they were like, do you know what? We're never going to have this chance again. Sod it. Let's just buy both of them. And that's what they did. And then they thought, we've got Mo Salah still here, and we've got Gakas, and we've got Kaiser, and we've got Rio Ingamoa, and now we've got Alexander Isak, and we've just bought Hugo Ekitike as well. What are we going to do with those? But basically, what I'm getting at is, Daniel, I just don't think there was a plan at all. So I don't think that's held. The other thing is, it's just take this unbeaten run that we've got at the minute, right? So it includes, I don't know, a win at Inter Milan, a win now at Marseille, a win against a really good Brighton team, a win away at Tottenham, which obviously Tottenham aren't doing too great, but a win away against Tottenham is still a decent result as far as I'm concerned historically. But during that run, we've contrived to draw 2 games to Leeds United, which is very inconvenient because I live down the road from the ground, which has been a bit embarrassing with me and the lads recently. And they've also contrived to draw 1-1 at Burnley. I mean, I don't understand how you can possibly beat Arsenal, Real Madrid, and Aston Villa and lose to Brentford, Crystal Palace, and draw with Burnley. It's maddening, absolutely. So I think there's a bit. What I'm getting at is I don't know if some of the players have gone a bit big time Charlie-ish in respect of they are I'm trying to think how to phrase this. I guess what I'm saying is, like, are they just turning up for the big games and sacking? I mean, I know that obviously I take the point they lost to Manchester City, but are they just turning up for the big games and sacking off the Burnleys? Because if they are, then they will lose to Bournemouth this weekend. They cannot go if they play like they did today at Bournemouth. They'll win. No offense to Bournemouth, but Liverpool win that match. Absolutely fine. If they play how they did against Burnley away at Bournemouth on Saturday, they will lose. Simple as that. So they need to go and play how they played yesterday, because I thought that was the best performance of the season, personally, for me. Obviously, I thought we did really well against Madrid, but we did have to absorb a lot of pressure. I thought we did really well against Arsenal, but again, that was a 50, both of them like 50 games. I think the Marseille performance is possibly far and away the best performance we've had of all season. But yeah, to answer, so yes, sorry Daniel, to answer your question, if you're still actually there, I think there's just a lot of factors behind what happened with Liverpool this season, and like I put in the thumbnail, can they maybe go and win the Champions League? I mean, look, I'm gonna say no. I cannot see. Although at the start of the season, I did actually predict to win the Champions League and predict to finish third. So technically, I might actually be right. I just don't know whether Liverpool have got the consistency. I mean, I'd worry for them if they drew Paris Saint-Germain again. I wouldn't particularly worry about a Madrid or a Barca or anything like it. It's people like a Bayern Munich that I would be like, that might be quite difficult. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But hopefully the Reds can do something, but we will have to wait and see, do basically. Sorry, I've just been ignoring everyone's comments first. Def, thank you a lot for that. Spent a lot of money. I don't like the manager. Yeah, to be honest, Daniel, I've really struggled with this. I was livid with Arne Slot at the weekend, absolutely livid. But I was livid with the players because Liverpool Football Club cannot be drawing at home to Burnley. Then you just see it cannot happen. It's not me being arrogant, but if you expect to do anything, you cannot draw with Burnley. Excuse me. So I guess the question is, would I get rid of Arne? Look, I feel very, very guilty about asking for the head of a guy who, in 18 months, has won us the league, got us to a League Cup final. He has us fourth in the Premier League. We are now going to be in the last 16 of the Champions League, barring a complete debacle. And we're in the fourth round of the FA Cup. I mean, let me put it this way. If Arne Slot did win the Champions League, does he keep his job? Because, I mean, to other fan bases, I don't see Liverpool win the Champions League, but let's say for argument's sake they do. But there are still some fans who aren't having Slot and they want to get rid of him, and the club went, all right, thanks Arne, thanks, but no thanks, and got rid of him. We would look at slightly disingenuous as a fan base to get rid of a Champions League and the league winning manager, and potentially very, very stupid for having done so as well. But I take the point. Obviously, he has shit the bed on a few things this year. I think some of his substitution, I think that's the main problem that I've had with Arne this season. Some of the substitutions have been like, he was really calm last season, but it's getting to like, I don't know, like the 80th minute, and he's just bringing on Rio and Chiesa and just throwing them all over the shop, basically. Whereas last year, if we needed a goal, Arne was about control and stuff, and there doesn't seem to be a plan. The Chiesa thing is maddening to me, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, Chiesa's showing his level. And I keep saying, guys, he's at that level because he's not playing regularly. So I don't know what... It's kind of like the Gakpo thing. I don't get the Cody Gakpo thing. In fact, I was going to talk about this later, but one of the comments that I saw the other day said, I don't like Gakpo. He doesn't do anything for Liverpool other than score and assist. And I was kind of like, yeah, that's his job. Hello? Am I missing something? I take the point that Gakpo is a bit of a one-trick pony. And like he runs up blind alleys and this, that, and the other, and he's only got one trick. Yeah, but like that one trick is probably responsible for about 10 to 15 goals a season. And maybe, I mean, I think Gackers has got like 4 or 5 assists again. I mean, he's on the road again to get in at least 20, 25 goals and assists a season. It just depends, what do you want from Cody Gakpo? Because Luis Diaz got this last season. Look what Luis Diaz is doing now. And yes, I take the point Bundesliga's weaker, but it was like people were moaning at Luis Diaz last season for scoring. I don't know the exact figures, obviously, but I'm for argument's sake, I think Diaz was 17 goals and maybe 8 assists. And I'm like, well, I mean, guys, that's pretty good. What are we expecting Luis Diaz to do here? I just think there's a bit, maybe too much expectations is the wrong word. I don't know, but I mean, if you theoretically had Mo Salah, let's say, scoring 30 goals and assisting 20, and let's say peak Alexander Isak is getting 25, 30 and assisting, I don't know, 2 or 3, um, and Wirtz is getting, I don't know, like 25 assists and he's getting 10 goals. I mean, what are you wanting from a Cody Gakpo or Luis Diaz? If my main two strikers are getting me 60 goals, then if Gackers is getting 10 to 15, I am more than happy with that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love all 6 of them to be hitting 30 goals a season because we'd be winning every pot possible, but that is completely unrealistic. They're not all going to score 30 goals and assist 20, you know what I mean? So the Gakpo thing, I don't get. I didn't get the Luis Diaz thing at all. I personally, he's another one I wouldn't have sold. Um, I would have sold Darwin, don't get me wrong, but the Diaz thing at the time, I was just like, it's when they were like, oh, but he's 28, blah, 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 and he's getting old. It's like, yeah, but he's still a top quality footballer. So just give him the money and he will play really well until he's 32 and then get rid. Like, Luis Diaz is not going to turn crap when he turns 30. This whole thing where people are like, oh, they can't play after 30 anymore, it's long proved to be nonsense. Obviously, yes, they're approaching the end of their careers, but like, I mean, look how fit Mo Salah is. He's going to be playing football until he's 40. Bare minimum, easy, possibly even longer. So yeah, it's up for debate, but I personally I like Gackers. Would I start him when everyone's fit? Probably not. But look, this is the whole thing about sometimes as a fan base, and I've done this myself. You probably will have like Colchester fans or whatever, Gillingham fans looking at us going, right, they're complaining about having Florian Wirtz and Cody Gakpo on the bench. Like, well, what are these people on? Kind of thing. So I don't know, but it's each their own. It's each their own. Leo, oh, that was my dad's name. Something, please, please. Uh, is that's wretched 6-7 symbol? I don't know. Yes, thank you, Elijah, for that. United fan, I come in peace. Oh, that's fine. I can't even read your name, dude. Miriachi? Miri Champion? I'll just call you Champion. Um, yeah, that's fine, dude. That's fine. No, as long as as long as you don't call me the name that the bloke at the start did, then you're more than welcome to, mate. That's fine. Um, yes. There was some sort of mention of how to put this. Do you enjoy your knee growing? And the bloke thought he was being funny, and I removed him from my channel and reported him. So yes, you're more than welcome to, as long as you don't, as long as there's no insults like that, that's fine with me. More than welcome, mate. Yeah, folks. Well, basically, I haven't even read any of my notes yet. So, like I said, in terms of the match last night, just very quickly, like I said, I'm delighted that Mason Greenwood got his arse handed to him for various reasons, which we won't go into. Yeah, I don't like Mason Greenwood. And yeah, basically, obviously, we won 3-0, but the lads were really, really good. I wanted to say shout out to Joe Gomez. Obviously, he's coming for a little bit from the cold. He had that good run at right back, and then obviously got injured against Brighton last month, I think. And then he came back in the game that I watched at Barnsley. I thought he did okay, other than a bit of a dodgy first 10 minutes. He was really good yesterday, so shout out to Joe Gomez. Obviously, shout out to the big man Ibou. Like I said, I hope he's all right. I really do, because that's just Yeah, that's just yeah, I just feel so sorry for Ibou. Look, whatever your feelings are in football, that's look that your family's health is the most important thing at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we all just get very excited about 22 blokes or women wandering around kicking a bag of air for our entertainment, but family and whatever and this, that, and the other is the most important thing. I'm just trying to chill out and listen to people talking shit about football. Oh, that's fine, dude. You're more than welcome to in that case, though. More than welcome to. I was going to say you've got a game and a half, mate, haven't you? On Sunday. Do you know what, actually, champion? I've got a random theory. I actually think your team will beat Arsenal at the weekend. I don't know. I have no basis to base that on whatsoever. But obviously, as much as I hate to admit this, obviously United did play extremely well against City. I actually think that they might do Arsenal 2-0. I'm basing that on absolutely nothing. It's just a gut feeling. I still think Arsenal win the league, but I just think United will. I wouldn't be surprised if United get the third place now. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Um, but yeah, as for the rest of the stuff, yeah, the goal from Dominic Szoboszlai. I mean, honestly, I don't think I've ever laughed at a goal that we've scored before. But I was because we didn't actually watch the whole game, but we had the Sky Sports news thing where they've got the reporters and then you see the goal and this that. I don't know if it was Sky that we were watching actually, but where they have the news reports and then they go to the goals and so on and so forth. The goal, like I know everyone was saying it was ingenious by Sobbo. I just thought it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It's like literally the whole wall just jumped in the end. Dom just went, "Oh, cheers," and just rolled it into the back of the net. And it was just the way that he went up the crowd and went, "Woo!" Like that. I was just, I'm sorry, I thought it was bloody hilarious. I quite like this arrogant Dominic Szoboszlai now, to be honest, who everyone seems to hate. Because I can be a bit of a heel, to use wrestling parlance myself. I like arrogant Dominic Szoboszlai. I approve of him very, very much. And if he winds other people up, that's fine with me. Yeah, no, I take the point. I mean, obviously, I saw the Barnsley match in person the other day. I was level with what Dom tried to do. I've never seen anything like it. And there was this northern fella behind me, Yorkshire, funnily enough, from where I am. And I apologise for swearing anyone who listens to this as a podcast afterwards, but this fella turns up behind me in hospitality. Turns up with a hot dog and his pint, and I think he's missed it. And then he looked on his phone, saw Dom's head, and he literally just looked and shouted, "You stupid bastard!" And I'm just like, oh my god, the Northerners! I can't get away from them, can I? But yeah, no, I take the point. Obviously, last week was a little bit arrogant, and then yes, he did miss the penalty, so maybe the whole Dom thing's gone a bit too far. But like I said, I quite like the arrogance. So yeah, it is what it is. Yes, 100%. I found myself weird this point in Liverpool for that very reason. F you know who. Yeah, I was going to say champion. I'm like I said, you're more than welcome to mention the bloke's name. I'm not mentioning his name. He's dead to me. I do not. Look, I don't want. I always say this about my channel. I don't want to get political, but invariably I do. Uh, I still cannot believe that man is allowed to play football. I cannot believe he was allowed to leave this country. Most of us have seen that video. You can do banter all you want to. That ain't banter. That was someone who's got a lovely wife, who loves his mom unashamedly, and who has loads of female fans. Female fans? I wish. Who has loads of female mates, sorry, excuse me, who I love dearly, very, very much, platonically, and I'd do anything for him. To see that video that I had the unfortunate luck is not the word I'd use. The unfortunate thing of seeing. It was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen, and a lot of people who were saying, "Oh, he's only 2021." It's like I was a 21-year-old lad myself, and I knew not to behave like that towards women from the age of 4 or 5. I certainly knew not to do that sort of thing when I was 20. So yeah, he can. I quite agree, champion. He definitely can go and f himself, and like I said, I'm glad he got his arse whipped. Um, yeah, and I can't speak lowly enough of the bloke, to be honest, but there we go. They played amazingly. I'm just trying not to get carried away. Haha, it's early day. Yeah, well, to be honest, champion, like I said, I don't want to turn this into the Man United show because I don't think I don't think the people who listen to this as a podcast would be hugely amused. But I thought, look, fair play. I thought United were fantastic at the week, and I thought they were very, very good. And like I said, I've said this before, like watching it on as a Liverpool fan, why on earth Amarim? I understood him trying to stamp down on his players and cut out all the nonsense with people like Rashford, and I understood that. But the Kobe Mainu thing was bizarre. Truly and utterly bizarre. I mean, look, I'm a Liverpool fan, I can tell you Kobe Mainu is a very good footballer, and for him to be just dropped is, I found it incredible. It was an incredible decision. I mean, I just don't. I don't know. Obviously, different managers and fans see different things, but how Ruben Amorim could not see that Kobe Mainoo was an absolute class footballer, and it's very difficult for me as a Liverpool fan to admit that. But I mean, it's true. I'd have to be blind not to say he's not a great football player. Um, I've been at the mercy of Kobe Mainoo, unfortunately, when he scored that Moldy against us. Yeah, no, it's bizarre, but it's utterly atrocious decision beyond words. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, Dominic was really good last night. Like I said, I'm just going through my quick notes. The flick that he did for the goal as well. I mean, obviously he didn't do the assist. I think it was it Verts? Was it John? I can't remember who did the assist now for Gakpo, but the flick that Somo did was just, I mean, he was just brilliant. And also, as well, the quick thing that I wanted to talk about, by the way, I'm going to sum this up in my Substack, guys, for the people who subscribe to me. There is a Substack that I'm in the middle of writing. It should be written before I go to bed, hopefully, in about an hour. So that's Geek Boy on Substack as well. Yeah, just type in Geek Boy and I will show up. And the channel on Substack is called The Red Corner, if anyone does want to subscribe. Anyway, I was talking about Kirkes and Frimpong, that they are playing brilliantly at the minute. And I think this is possibly one of the things that maybe Arna was looking for Liverpool to do, and I think it's finally working now. I think it's got a lot better now that Kirkes and Frimpong are bombing up to the opposition penalty area. They're now pinning people back. So it's all and good basically saying Frimpong and Kirkers have got to defend, but now that they're going up the field, they're pinning back the opposition, which is working really well. I mean, I don't know why Arna was asking Kirkes especially to play. Look, I admit he's a fullback, obviously, but like he was like a boring bloody fullback basically who never went forward. And I'm just like, why is Arna not telling this lad to go forward? So yeah, it looks like he's dropped the thing now. But yeah, they were both brilliant yesterday. I love watching Frimpong. I think he's brilliant. I actually think I think with a bit of training he could play up front. I really do. But like, I mean, is it necessary when you've got Mo Salah, Hugo Ekitike, and when Isaac's fit, obviously next season, hopefully he will be. Do we need any more firepower? I mean, possibly. I mean, now they've missed out on Semenyo. I mean, the only other thing they could do is reconvert Jeremy Frimpong to play there, and then when Connor's fit, you make Connor the right back instead of Frimmers. I don't know, but it's a great option to have. What else? Like I said, I've talked about Cody Gakpo. Let's have a look. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to mention. I've actually just done this as a short, so some of the subscribers may have seen it. It literally just popped into my head. So Liverpool are 13 unbeaten now, yes? Has anyone seen what the breakdown is? 6-7. 6 draws, 7 wins. I.e., 6-7. Oh my God, I had to throw that in there. My son is obsessed with 6. I don't know if anyone else is getting slightly irked by the whole 6-7 thing. I've kind of accepted it now because my son just says it literally, he must say it about a million times a day, and I've kind of just got used to it. But literally, I didn't realise that was what Liverpool's record was. Now they are literally 6-7. Yeah, so I'm going to tell my son that tomorrow. I'm sure he'll be highly, highly amused with that one. Yeah, shout out to Ali as well. I thought he was really good in goal. Because a lot of people were just saying it was a bog standard performance by Alisson. I thought that saved him. I don't know who the Marseille bloke was, but I think we were 1-0 up. No, we hadn't even scored it actually. It's when the ball came out and that fella was left on the right hand side of the D, and he takes a touch and then he whacks it towards the top corner, and Ali gets both his hands up, and his hands are that powerful. Not only does he manage to push it away, but he pushes it nearly out of the penalty area. Well, away from the goal anyway. I thought that people were just like, nah, that's an alright save. I thought it was bloody brilliant by Ali. I thought the save that he did from Aubameyang as well was superb. Absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, defensively, randomly enough, we're actually, after all this time, we're actually not looking too... But, I mean, if you look at the last... I'm trying to think from the Arsenal game. I might be wrong about this, but in the last 5 matches, we've kept 3 clean sheets out of 5, and the only 2 goals we've conceded is because Dominic Szoboszlai was, excuse my language, titting about with the ball and fell on his arse practically against Barnsley, and the only other goal was scored by Burnley because basically our defence just fell asleep and couldn't be arsed tracking the bloke back, and he scored at a narrow angle. I mean, that's 2 goals in 5. But like defensively, actually, if you look slowly, even the corners, we seem to have been marking up from corners now. We actually seem a hell of a lot better defensively as well. Obviously, Florian's playing well now. Ekatike's playing well. The fullbacks are playing well. Maybe a little bit of the midfield. I don't know. I thought Macca played well last night. There's still, you can tell there's still something not quite right there at the minute. I can't put my finger on what it is, but I just hope Slot now just unleashes them. Frimpong, Bradley, Kirkes, Wirtz, Ekatike, just have them all bombing forward, drop Ryan Gravenberch back in when they all go for defensive cover, and just let them attack. Because that's the only way we're going to win. If Liverpool are going to win something this season now, the FA Cup or Champions League, they're going to have to take a few risks now. They really, really are, because Liverpool will not win the Champions League this season by playing defensively. They won't. It's simple as that. Let me just have a look. I'm him. You're never going to get me to say it, mate. Nice to see you again, dude. Regardless of how badly Liverpool play, they still turn up in Europe. Yeah, well, we are European royalty, aren't we? We are. This is Liverpool. This is what we do. Let's have a look. Oh, Byron. How you doing, Byron? You all right? Yes, not too bad, thanks, mate. I need WWE to... we've gone to WWE. Just a shout out to all the listeners when it turns up as pod. The times I do Liverpool, people want to talk WWE. The times I would do WWE, people want to talk about Liverpool, which is fine. I don't mind talking about it. I need WWE to start using some of their old match stipulations on TV this year. It's been a while since I saw an Inferno. I agree, Byron. I love the Inferno match. My first one was... oh, God, I'm going to date myself now. Kane versus The Undertaker in... oh, God, when was it now? I want to say late 98? Maybe early 99. So they had the whole thing where Kane got revealed as Taker's brother. Then they had the match at WrestleMania in Boston in 98, I think that was. It was when Stone Cold beat Shawn Michaels. This is how old I am. But and then they had another match, possibly at Backlash, I think. And then there was the third one, if I'm right in saying they had, and it was an Inferno match, and it was really, really well done, because obviously it's all pyrotechnics and everything, but like the flames whenever Undertaker or Kane got slammed. Literally, the whole ring just went like this. The way they set Kane's arm on fire was really really cool as well. But yeah, no, I like an Inferno match, dude. I really do. Like what are the matches I used to like? The first blood match was really really cool back in the day. Um, TLCs, obviously, they were very, very cool. Old school ones when they had the Dudleys versus Edge and Christian versus the Hardys. That was awesome. You had the old school Buried Alive matches as well with Taker and Austin back in the day. But yeah, no, I miss some of the old school matches, dude, as well. I really, really do. I used to tell you what I used to like. I used to like when they did very early editions of Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. Um, and I know you can't now because obviously Money in the Bank is its own thing. I mean, it's probably bigger than Survivor Series now, Money in the Bank. But I'd like them to do one at WrestleMania. I mean, they've got that much talent now. I mean, there's a world at the moment where Jacob Fatu and LA Knight are not getting on WrestleMania just because there's not enough room on the card for them because it's so stacked. Whereas a multi-man match at Money in the Bank would give these people time to do whatever. Anyway, I'm rambling, but yes, no, I agree, dude. I absolutely agree. What else am I going to talk about? I've mentioned about the whole hating of Cody Gakpo. Like I said, I've got to be honest, folks. I don't get it at all. I don't know what I'm. I totally get people getting annoyed with Gakpo being a one-trick pony. I really do. But the only trouble is, if that one-trick pony gets you 15 goals a season and 8 assists, I'm fine with him being one-trick pony. The problem is with Gakpo, if you're reliant on him being your main striker, then that is an issue. But if he's, I don't know, basically, like I said, going forward, if you've got Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz, Mo Salah for, a couple more seasons, you've got Jeremy Frimpong, you've got Hugo Ekitike, and let's say 3 of them are scoring 25 plus goals, and Florian Wirtz is assisting 30, 40, which I'm assuming is the plan eventually, and say Kirkes and Frimpong, because I think Kirkes will eventually start hitting the back of the net as well. Does it matter if Gakpo's getting 15, 16 goals and 7 or 8 assists? I would politely suggest it's not the most important thing in the world. I mean, looking back on it now, if I had a choice to sell Gakpo or Diaz, I think we have made a mistake with the Diaz thing. I really do. I wouldn't be surprised if Bayern ends up in the Champions League final. I mean, there is a scenario there where we end up playing Bayern Munich, and there is a fairly obvious thing that is going to happen, but I hope it doesn't, but we'll wait and see. So yeah, I suppose before I head off, guys, thank you for all the people that have watched tonight, by the way. Like I said, this will be on YouTube podcast and YouTube audio tomorrow afternoon. In terms of what I put at the start with the thumbnail, by the way, if you are listening as part of the podcast when this is recorded, my thumbnail was Can Liverpool win the Champions League? If I'm honest, I don't think Liverpool are going to win a single trophy this season. But you are talking to a guy who has GAD and and has anxiety and depression issues. So not all the time, but I'm not typically the most positive guy in the world. So maybe I'm not the best person to ask. I think Liverpool could salvage something this season. I'm just not sure whether that's going to translate into a trophy. Like the FA Cup, like I said, I've said this a million times before, but I have watched Liverpool for 36 years, right? And we've won the FA Cup 4 times in that time. Look, that's a hell of a lot more than a lot of people, which is fine. That's like a quick bit of maths. That's like one FA Cup every 9 years, which is all right. Unless Liverpool win the FA Cup, we are hopeless. I think in all the time I've supported Liverpool, we've been to one semi-final other than the years we've won the FA Cup. The rest of the times, I mean, there's times we've not even made the third, that we barely scraped into the third round, let alone the fourth. Yeah, we're hopeless in the FA Cup. Do I expect us to win the FA Cup? Probably not. I'd probably actually say we might have a better chance in the Champions League, but it just depends on the draw because we were flying last season. At the end of the day, if we don't get Paris Saint-Germain, let's say if we'd got, I don't know, for argument's sake, like, I don't know, Villa and Atletico Madrid or something like that, I think Liverpool would have got to at least the semi-final. I think Paris Saint-Germain were always going to win it, but we were incredibly unlucky with that draw. I mean, I'm just hoping, look, 'cause Arsenal are obviously going to win the Champions League group stage this year. Hopefully they will get like a Real Madrid or PSG this time, and Liverpool will get. I mean, I don't even know what a good draw would be for us. Borussia Dortmund. 50-50 chance. Borussia Dortmund, decent team. Should Liverpool beat Borussia Dortmund? Yeah, probably should. Hopefully, a draw like that. So maybe we end up with a Borussia Dortmund and maybe an Inter Milan in the quarters or something along them lines. I don't know, because the fact that we got Paris Saint-Germain was just like so rubbish last season. It really was. But yeah, I will have to wait and see. But do I think Liverpool will come in the Champions League? Honestly, no. Do I think we've got a better chance now than we did before I watched that match last night? Definitely. I mean, the thing is, if we can get top 4 or 5, and it looks like top 5, obviously now with all those English teams qualifying for the Champions League last day, I mean, I'd be astonished if we don't get the 5th coefficient place. So Liverpool right now need to finish 5th. Now, if they can put Champions League qualification to bed in the next couple of months, I mean, I think the Champions League will resume sort of late February, early March for the teams that have automatically qualified. If we can have a month where we get this Champions League place, like not sewn up, but like very, very likely, then yeah, maybe they can have a good go at the Champions League. I don't know, but do I think Liverpool are as good as, at the moment, PSG, Arsenal and Bayern Munich? Probably not. But I mean, this is Liverpool. This is the football club that I watched being 3-0 down against AC Milan when I was watching in Harrogate, and I went with one of my mates who was a Man United fan, who spent the entire first half ripping me to shreds, laughing in my face, and then the second half, what happened is what happened. This is the Liverpool team that were 3-0 down in the Nou Camp, and for an appalling miss by Ousmane Dembele would have been 4-0 down. As it was, they did not end up 4-0 down. They ended up winning the next match 4-0. So Liverpool have done crazier things than win a European Cup. So have they got a chance? I think they've got a chance. Do I think it's a brilliant chance? Probably not. Then again, if they could get Isak back mid-March, getting ready for quarters, semi-finals if they happen to be there. I mean, a fully rested, fit, firing Alexander Isak to bring on as a sub. Who knows? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, so just before I go, guys, I'm just going to do the preview of the week. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to mention as well. This is Anfield, who are really good resource, top website. Are reporting that Harvey Elliott's contract looks like it's going to be getting sort of, well, annulled, basically. I think Villa are just basically saying, look, we just want rid of him. What money do you want? Now, it's currently the 22nd of January. Transfer window shuts in 10 days. I think it's a week on Tuesday or something like that. Harvey's already said he does not want to go to the United States. And I don't blame him. Look, he's a 22-year-old lad. I mean, he needs to be playing regular first-team football. Obviously, he's not going to the World Cup now. That is not going to happen. He's left himself too much time. Will he be part of Liverpool's squad? I mean, I really seriously hope that Arnold wouldn't be that arrogant, because if you're talking quality, then surely he would have to go straight back into the squad. As it is currently. I mean, obviously, who we've got injured at the moment? I mean, obviously, Isak and Bradley would go straight back into the squad, it goes without saying. Leone might be in the squad, if he was fit, I guess. I don't know. Would Harvey Elliott take anyone's place? I mean, look, he doesn't play Endo anymore, and obviously he's not going to. Would he take Chiesa's place? He doesn't play Chiesa. Would you play taking Gilmore's place? I think Harvey Elliott, if he does come back, why not put him in the shop window? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, maybe even Harvey Elliott might think to himself, do you know what? He might be off at the end of the season. And then Liverpool, I don't know, for argument's sake, get like De Zerbi or Xabi Alonso or someone like that who might actually like Harvey Elliott. Harvey might be thinking to himself, do you know what? If I stick in here and just keep my head down under this coach, and if it goes very, very wrong for him, if I just keep my head down, I've got a chance under the new manager. So who knows? I don't know, but I personally, whatever Slot thinks of Harvey Elliott, I mean, surely he's got to be in the squad at the minute. Surely, surely he's got to be in the squad. But yeah, no, we'll have to wait and see. Zeesh. Yeah, sorry, I've got really bad glasses. Sorry if I'm reading that incorrectly. Everything is so repetitive, they need to book it better. I'm assuming we're talking WWE now, we're not talking Liverpool. I don't think they booked the Liverpool matches. Well, mind you, I wouldn't be bloody surprised at this stage. Yeah, in terms of WWE, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'll call you Zeech because, like, I can't read that dude from where I'm sitting. I'm very, very sorry because I've got lights and all sorts like shining in my eyes. I think if you're talking WWE, dude, yeah, maybe, but to be honest, I'm one of the ones that fell off with WWE for many, many years. I think I stopped watching in 2018 just because it was, I mean, it was absolutely diabolical, mate. Diabolical. And then obviously AEW came along. Obviously, I'm a big AEW fan. Well, I say that, I've not watched it for the last 3 weeks, but still. And they sort of revitalised pro wrestling, and then obviously Vince started to be showing the door, and then Triple H took the book. And things got a lot better with WWE. I mean, I actually have found myself really enjoying it, but I'm from a position of it being horrendously poor, just awful, awful, awful. I mean, I think after Punk left in 2013, from 2013 to 2018, that is the worst WWE I've ever seen. Dreadful, absolutely appalling. So yeah, from my point of view, obviously it's got better from there. I think WWE had a golden moment about, what was it, maybe 18 months ago, where everything they touched was an absolute smash hit. I didn't think last year was the best that they had storytelling wise. I don't think the WrestleMania thing helped. I don't think the botches with Cena really helped. Nothing to do with him. Cena was fantastic, but like, I mean, the whole changing him from heel to face was a bit clunky, and then obviously people went mental when Gunther won. Should Cena have lost? I don't know, but I take the point, mate. Sometimes WWE is not the best storytelling in the world. It has to be said. If you are in fact talking about WWE, if you're talking about Liverpool, that would be very, very interesting. But still, I think a lot of people think that. I think there's a lot of opposition fans who think Liverpool are booked, but not in the way that I would hope. But yeah, no, I'm glad we're in. True, yeah. I'm glad we're in the moment that we are now, like I said, because I found myself that I thought AEW was excellent last year. That WWE had some very, very good moments where I thoroughly enjoyed. I thoroughly enjoyed watching Io Sky. Like I said, she was, I know people might laugh at this, it's subjective and everyone has their own opinions. I thought Io Sky was the best wrestler on the planet last year. I thought she was everything she did was brilliant, absolutely superb. Yeah, shout out to Io Sky. I thought she was brilliant. I really liked Tekla in AEW as well. Obviously, Osprey is awesome. Obviously, my countryman. I really enjoyed Roxanne Perez's work last year. I thought she was absolutely fantastic. Raquel Rodriguez. A lot of the women actually were really, really good last year. I think AJ Styles has been fantastic this year so far. I mean, I'm really hoping Gunther's not retiring him, but like, I wouldn't be surprised now at all. I wouldn't be surprised if Gunther's the one who's going to retire AJ and then basically Brock and basically Roman Reigns, and he goes on this path where he just kills all the old legends, but who knows. But yeah, it's always nice to talk wrestling. Thank you for that. Just quickly, folks, so I've gone through can Liverpool win the Champions League. Obviously, look, I don't really like saying this, obviously, but with what's happened with Ibou, look, obviously takes priority. And as far as I'm concerned, if Ibou's lost his father, take all the time that you want, mate. At the end of the day, this is more important football. However, as a practicality, does this mean Liverpool may have to enter the market? Now, look, they've got 10 days to go. I think, sadly, they probably are going to have to, because if they don't, and Ibou is a long time away, which again, he needs to take some, as long as I've lost my father, you can't get over that sort of thing straight away. And they should not be harassing the man to come back neither, or France for that matter. But obviously, practicality terms, obviously life does go on, and Liverpool have to do this, that, and the other. Now, if we didn't go into the market, and let's say Ibou, quite rightly so as well, he needs to spend all the time with his family, as I've said, but let's say he's away for 2 months. That gives us 34-year-old Virgil van Dijk, who's still one of the best defenders in the world, Joe Gomez, who can't stay fit, Wataru Endo, who has played probably about 200 minutes worth of football this season, if that. Ryan Gravenberch could maybe drop in. Not sure if I'm feeling that. And then your other option is Andrew Robertson. Unless you play Lucky or Nallo. Now, obviously, I don't have to go Ahmed Nallo, because obviously I'm sure he doesn't need me to say this, but he's been sent off twice in his first 2 games for Liverpool. And he's 18, 19. Lucky is 18 years of age. Do I want Lucky or Nallo or Andy Robertson or Ryan Gravenberch playing in the quarter final against Paris Saint-Germain? Probably not. I mean, if it's not Schlotterbeck, then they need to. I mean, I don't know if Liverpool are going to sign anyone. In fact, I might just have a quick look while I'm on, see if there's been any transfer news. I don't think there has, because there would have been an alert on my phone. But if they are going to do something, they need to start thinking about doing it very, very quickly. But I mean, in terms of who they go for, I mean, I haven't got a clue, but they need to go for a centre back, unless of course one of these 2 lads who we've just brought in. I don't think one of them can play, actually, because he's I think because of a certain act ending in exit, means that we can't have him yet, or something along those lines. But I think one of them can start playing maybe this winter. I don't know, but I mean, if it's not Schlotterbeck, obviously it can't be Mark Gay now because he's gone. Could you get someone like Tamore or something like that, maybe? Could you get the lad from, I can't never remember the last name, from Fulham, like a Joachim Anderson or something like that? Not Gay, the other Crystal Palace centre back, the Lacroix, I think his name is. He looks quite decent. Would Palace sell the other centre back? I would probably suggest not. Could you get one of the Rezzies from Chelsea, maybe? Whatever his name is, that Badilash Zilly or whatever his name is. I've probably just completely butchered his name. Look, I don't know, but either way, Liverpool, before the Konate thing, and definitely before the Gay and whatever thing at Leone's injury, they needed 2 centre backs. So I think we might get something. I've got a horrible feeling it might not be a central defender, and for me, a central defender needs to be sourced, because out of all those options that I've just listed, I mean, if Joey Gomez also, I mean, the other trouble is as well, which people aren't actually realising, what happens if Virgil van Dijk gets injured now? I mean, to be honest, folks, we could be in a world in a month where our two central defenders are Wataru Endo and Andy Robertson. Now, look, I don't want to see that ever, to be honest. I mean, if obviously Van Dijk got injured, I mean, there's a lot of ifs and buts and this, that, and the other. But like, I suppose if he did get injured, the only other thing you could do is go to maybe a free and have, I don't know, Gomez, Gravenberg, and maybe you play Robertson as like a left-sided centre back who's going into fullback. Honestly, I don't know, but like losing Van Dijk now doesn't even bear thinking about. But eventually, we are going to lose Virgil van Dijk, so Liverpool cannot put this defence. It does make me wonder if the reason that we're not signing a central defender is because they're not sure if Slot's going to be there next season, and maybe they're thinking to themselves, "Do you know what? Are we going to give this fellow who we know's going 80 million quid to spend on two centre backs, or do we just wait for Xabi Alonso or De Zerbi or Glasner or whoever else it may or may not be taking them? I don't know, but I would suggest if they do get centre back in, maybe they are going to stick with Arnold, but like who knows, basically. Yeah, in terms of next week, so Liverpool wise, obviously we've got Bournemouth next. They scare me, I've got to be honest. Bournemouth have done us a couple of times over the years. There was that wretched 4-3. There was the 1-0 when we hilariously beat Man United 7-0, and then I don't know, a week later managed to lose 1-0 at Bournemouth's place. So I know they've lost Semenyo, but there's no easy games. Is a draw a good result away from Bournemouth? Away from home at Bournemouth? In our position, probably not. Is a point at Bournemouth a good point generally? Yes. It's not a bad point at all. But we can't keep drawing these league matches because, like, eventually one of these other Champions League teams is going to displace us. Liverpool need to go there and win. They need to go and play how they played against Marseille, and they need to win the match. So, in terms of, I mean, this is the other thing now as well. If you're Arna, do you take the risk with the Karabakh match and potentially end up in the playoff round if Karabakh come and beat us, or do you take the risk and play the full lads and then maybe make a host of changes for Karabakh? I mean, look, Liverpool should not be losing to Karabakh, really, with no disrespect to them whatsoever, but I'd be inclined to take the risk because, I mean, really, I think we probably can get away with qualifying the top 8 with maybe a point. I mean, I'm not saying wholesale changes, obviously, but put it this way, my team for Bournemouth would be Ali, Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez as centre-backs. I'm keeping Kirkes. I'm keeping, which will be interesting because he's going back to Bournemouth. I'm keeping Frimmers. I'm going to bring Curtis Jones back in. I'm playing Gravenberg. I'm definitely playing Dominic Szoboszlai for obvious reasons. I'm playing Wirtz because he's playing out of his skin at the minute. I'm playing Ekatike. And I'm probably playing Salah, to be honest, see if we can get back into goal scoring form. But obviously, if you've got to rotate, then you've then got to do it against Karabakh. I'd probably play the same defence, maybe bring Robertson in just because they're at home for Kirkes, maybe give Kirkes a rest. Obviously, Frimpong's basically got to play every single game now because there's no Bradley, unless you move Gomez back, but you now can't move Gomez back because he's now got to cover for Konate. So I bring Robertson back in for Karabakh. Maybe then if Jones has played against Bournemouth, maybe you then drop McAllister back into midfield against Karabakh, and then at least you've got a fresh option there. And then maybe you replace Gakpo with Salah, and then one does 45 and another does 45, or you start Gakpo this weekend and save Salah for the Karabakh match. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But this is where we could have done with Alexander Isak, sadly, unfortunately. Oh yes, as I'm him will be has just agreed with me as well. Isaac will be better next season, I hope. Oh, well, bloody, he better be, mate. He better be for 130 odd billion bloody quid. He better be, pal. Um, I won't be best pleased if we spent all that money, got rid of Luis Diaz for no reason, and then we end up with a loss. That would be pretty abysmal. I mean, the other option that we have, funnily enough, actually, Jaden Dans, from what I understand, should be back in training soon. Now, is Jaden Dans realistically going to get a game this late in the season? Probably not, but he's an option. I mean, if Isak can't play again this season, perhaps towards the end of the season, maybe you give Jaden Dans a chance. I don't know. Look, probably not, but at least at least he'd be another option. Like I said, for me, if Harvey Elliott is coming back, he should go straight back into the squad. While he's here, while you've got him, I mean, not to use Harvey Elliott as an option would be completely bloody stupid. But I mean, I don't know if Arne's going to have a whole tantrum about being forced to have Elliott back, and like, I don't think it would make Arnold look stupid. Oh, it's just a loan that hasn't worked out. You know what I mean? So I would personally put Elliott straight back on the bench. Would I start him? Absolutely not. Not after what's just happened, but I think he'd be quite useful. And like I said, why not play him? And then he gets a move to maybe a Brentford next season, and they give us, I don't know, 30, 40 million quid. Who knows? But yeah, that's what I'd do for that. So, and then at the end of next week, we've also. So it's getting a bit interesting now, guys. So we've got Bournemouth Saturday night, Karabag Wednesday night, which I'm going to go and see with my brother, which is going to be awesome. Newcastle on a week on Saturday, and then 2 days later is transfer deadline day. By the way, I'm going to do a live watch along for transfer deadline day, which will start at the time of whenever I can get the wife to go to bed, basically. Hopefully about 10 o'clock, so I'll be with you for like the last hour. Hopefully there will be some signings to talk about. I very much doubt. I don't think Liverpool are actually going to sign anyone at all, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, that's about it, folks, really. That's everything I want to talk about. So thank you for everyone for interacting with me tonight. As per usual. Sorry about messing you about with the start times, folks, by the way. Like I said, there was just nothing I could have done about it today. Hopefully I will be back on form with the next few lives, fingers crossed. Just quickly, while I've got you all here, and those of you listening to this on the audio podcast, just to make you aware of what I've got coming up. So, let me see if I can get this right. Toy Shots Fridays tomorrow, and I'm also having like a special like night for Ghana, actually, which is my national team, where my father was from. So there's going to be a load of Ghana stuff on tomorrow. So those of you who are Ghanaians who follow me, there'll be a lot of Rockstars content and a lot of Ghana content, which should be pretty cool. Something I haven't really done on the channel, but obviously it's like Ghana is sort of part of my home as well. So yeah, just representing Black Stars and all that. Saturday's got a bit tricky now as well, because I was going to do the late night SmackDown show, which I now cannot do because I discovered to my horror that Liverpool versus Bournemouth is not at 3 o'clock, it is at 5:30. And by the time I've like watched that, cooked dinner, got the child to bed, chilled out with the missus for a bit, it is going to be roughly the same sort of time that I usually do the late night SmackDown show. So yes, there will probably be no late night SmackDown this weekend. It will probably be Liverpool versus Bournemouth, unless I reserve the late night SmackDown show if Liverpool have lost to Bournemouth. If we've lost like 5-0 to Bournemouth, then I ain't doing a Liverpool show. It'll be SmackDown. In fact, what I could do is I might do the late night SmackDown show. No, actually, I say on the fly, I can't do SmackDown anyway, because another thing that's happening is Saturday night's main event, which is, what's that, the Rhea and Io versus the Kabukis, I think. And Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu, which is going to be really, really good. I may stay up for that. I'm not too sure what's happening with that just yet. So yeah, no, there'll definitely be no SmackDown, but there might be a Saturday Night's main event. In terms of next week with the Reds, so yeah, it'll be it'll be Bournemouth Liverpool that I'll be talking about. Next week, Monday Night Raw will be on the Tuesday. I'll be previewing the Royal Rumble at some point next week live. I'm not sure when that's going to be. The Wednesday, there'll be the live reaction show. In fact, there might not be one because I'm actually watching that with my brother. I've just suddenly realised, and we're going out on the ale. So, yeah. Ah, that's a point. I didn't think of that. Yeah, the Liverpool Carabao reaction might have to be the afternoon, the day after, maybe in the afternoon. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna do some live stream changes and stuff, so I'll let you guys know. I will definitely be doing AEW next week. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I'm really sorry to all the AEW fans that watch me. I just literally haven't had enough time. I might try and do a bit of AEW tomorrow. I still haven't watched it as of yet, but I've actually got half a day off work tomorrow, so I might be able to get back and do a bit of research. In fact, I might be able to do the AEW live reaction show possibly tomorrow, early tomorrow evening, because I don't think I've got that much on tomorrow. So yeah, I could do that tomorrow. But it should return to its normal slot week. And then the next weekend, it's the Royal Rumble, which is going to be awesome, and I cannot wait for the Royal Rumble. Is one of my most favourite things in the entire year. I love the Royal Rumble, so I might even do a watch long in the last 10 minutes, and then do the live reaction. So that'll be a week on Saturday. So yeah, loads of cool things coming up. I've got another visit to a football ground. I actually went to the Hawthorns back end of like late summer last year. So there's going to be a West Brom Stadium tour, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm going to Leeds Comic Con next month. I'm going to see Fozzy next month with Chris Jericho, which should be very cool. I'm going to try. Music's not really a thing on the channel, although I do promote a night called Hard Light, which is from a very good friend of mine called A Short Dark Stranger. Check him out on YouTube, and he does a night called Hard Light. It's very, very cool. And Dober Woman, who is awesome. I think she's now called The Wedding Singer, potentially. I don't know. Shout out to Dober Woman, though. Love you. Yeah. And so yeah, I'm going to go and see Fozzy. I'm going to try and get some footage there as well. What else have I got coming up? York Comic Con's coming up. I should be getting my tickets for the Liverpool versus Borussia Dortmund Legends match next week. I'm hoping, so that'll be the next time at Anfield. So I'll be at Anfield in about 7 weeks' time, I think, for that. I'm going with my brother again. We're having the lads' evening out, which should be cool in Liverpool on a Saturday night. There's something else coming up as well. Oh, and like I said, I'll be doing a live thing of the transfer window as well. And like I said, hopefully Liverpool will sign someone. Will they sign someone? I very much doubt it, but one can hope and dream, I suppose. So yeah, there's lots of really cool stuff coming up on the channel. The Fozzy thing, by the way, is the 12th of February, so just keep an eye on the channel. I think the gig starts at 8 or 9 o'clock in Bradford, so by the time I get back to my hotel, I'm guessing I'll have most of the Fozzy footage uploaded probably about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, if I don't get copyright struck, if that's even a word. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Also as well, AEW tickets for Wembley Stadium, I'm going to try and buy soon. So I believe I'm right in saying the AEW tickets were available last February for AEW All In, which is going to be at Wembley Stadium, by the way, so keep an eye on the channel again, because in the summer I'll be going to Wembley in London. In fact, hopefully I'm going to go and try and see Rev Pro Wrestling, which is a UK independent promotion. There, I think, at like the mini Wembley Stadium bit that's next to Wembley, I don't know what the hell it's called, on the Saturday night, and then the Sunday is going to be AEW All In, so I'm hoping to do something cool with that. But yeah, I'll let you guys know as we go along. But yeah, that's all my announcements, folks, anyway. So yeah, hour and 20 minutes, that was really fun. Thanks everyone for watching. Like I said, this will be out as a podcast tomorrow, so just tune in as per usual. And yeah, the next time I'll be on, I might well see you guys tomorrow, possibly for a very, very late AEW wrap up. Because, like I said, I've got half a day off work tomorrow, so I may be able to do something in the afternoon. Fingers crossed. But yeah, have a good night, everyone, and I will see you all at the weekend. See you soon. Bye bye. Up the Reds.